Why did God create Satan? This is one of the biggest questions people ask, and it's a really tough one. If God is all good and all powerful, why would he create a being who would cause so much suffering and evil? It can feel like a paradox, a real head scratcher. But to find an answer, we need to go way back to the beginning, before the world as we know it even existed. Let's start by clearing up a common misconception. God didn't create a character named Satan with horns and a pitchfork. The being we now call Satan was originally created as an angel, a magnificent and powerful one at that. The Bible often refers to him as Lucifer, which means light bearer or morning star. He was created good, perfect, and beautiful, just like all the other angels. Think of him as one of the highest-ranking angels in heaven, close to God's throne, full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. The Bible describes him in glowing terms. So, his creation was not the creation of evil. So if he was created good, what went wrong? The story takes a turn because of something God gave to both angels and humans: free will. Free will is the ability to choose. Without it, love isn't genuine. If you program a robot to say "I love you," does it really mean anything? Not really, because it has no choice. True love, true worship, and true relationship require the freedom to choose, and that includes the freedom to choose not to love or to turn away. This is where Lucifer's story takes a tragic turn. His incredible beauty, wisdom, and position became a source of pride. He looked at himself and began to desire the glory and worship that belonged only to God, the Creator. Instead of reflecting God's light, he wanted to be the source of light himself. He said in his heart, "I will ascend to heaven. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of the sacred mountain. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High." This was the first sin, pride. It was a choice born out of his own free will. He wasn't created evil, but he chose evil. God didn't create a devil. He created a perfect angel who, through his own choices, became the devil, Satan, which means the accuser or the adversary. His rebellion wasn't a surprise to God, but it was a consequence of the genuine freedom God had granted him. So, why allow it? Why not just uncreate him or force him to be good? This goes back to the core of God's character and his desire for a genuine relationship with his creation. If God were to eliminate everyone who chose against him, he would be a dictator, not a loving father. He would be violating the very gift of free will that makes love possible. The existence of evil is not a sign of God's failure, but rather a testament to the high value he places on our freedom to choose. This rebellion didn't just stay in heaven. When Lucifer, now Satan, fell, he convinced a third of the other angels to join him. They were cast out of heaven, and their rebellion extended to God's new creation, humanity. The story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden is the next chapter. Satan, in the form of a serpent, tempted them to disobey God, planting the same seeds of pride and doubt that led to his own fall. He tempted them with the idea that they, too, could be like God. And just like Lucifer, Adam and Eve used their free will to make a choice to disobey. This brought sin and brokenness into the world. It's the reason we experience pain, suffering, and death. It wasn't God's original plan. His plan was a perfect world where he could walk in relationship with humanity. But the choices made first by Satan and then by humans introduced evil. But the story doesn't end there, and this is the most important part. God already had a plan to redeem and restore everything. He didn't leave us in this broken state. This is where the entire story of the Bible points to Jesus. God's plan was to defeat evil not by force, but by love and sacrifice. Jesus came to earth to live a perfect life, to die on the cross for our sins, and to rise again, conquering death and evil once and for all. Through Jesus, we are offered a way back to God. We are given the chance to use our free will to choose him, to accept his forgiveness, and to be restored into the relationship we were created for. So, when we look at the question, why did God create Satan? The answer is, he didn't. He created a perfect angel named Lucifer and gave him the gift of free will. Lucifer chose pride and rebellion, becoming Satan. God allowed this choice because genuine love requires genuine freedom. But God's ultimate plan wasn't just to allow freedom, it was to redeem the consequences of its misuse. The presence of evil in the world is heartbreaking, but it also highlights the incredible depth of God's love and the power of his redemption plan. He's working all things together for the good of those who love him, and the Bible promises that one day, evil and suffering will be gone forever. Satan will be defeated completely, and all of creation will be restored to its intended perfection. So while the question is complex, the answer reveals a God who values freedom, who doesn't shy away from the messiness of our choices, and who ultimately overcomes evil with the greatest power of all, self-sacrificing love. It's a story of tragedy, yes, but it's ultimately a story of hope and victory. Thanks for watching. If this video helped you think through this big question, please give it a like and consider subscribing for more content that dives deep into faith. See you in the next one.